If you bulk like most people, you're going to put on loads of fat, lose pumps, and end up looking worse than you ever did before. If you're watching this video, you want to get jacked, not fat. I've gained 20 kilos of lean mass since starting the gym. I went from this to this, and this video is going to show you exactly how to do the same. So first things first, if you've been in the fitness game for any amount of time, you've seen all these videos of insane bodybuilders absolutely blasting steroids saying, oh, you got to bulk on 8,000 calories a day, or even if they don't say that you should do it, they're definitely doing it. But if you attempt some steroid warrior's 8,000 calorie day, you're going to put on bad weight quick. Now don't get me wrong, if you're bulking right, you are going to gain some fat. But our goal is to keep that as low as possible and to maximize our gains while reducing that fat. But first we kind of got to clarify who exactly is bulking for, because bulking is not for everyone. The rule of thumb is figuring out your exact body fat percentage is kind of hard because scanners are all wrong. You can't get Coach Greg to tell you exactly what your body fat percentage is if you've got less than 100k followers. So my general rule of thumb is if you can see your abs and you can see veins with fair definition, you need to bulk. If you can't see your abs in any lighting and you have basically no veins, you almost definitely need to cut, which we're not going to be covering in this video. So the point of a bulk is for those smaller people on the skinny side to gain mass so they can eventually hit their peak weight, because gaining weight against what people thought like 20 years ago isn't just a bad thing. If you gain loads of weight, it doesn't have to be bad. By volume, muscle weighs more than fat. If you're gonna gain muscle and you're gonna look like Alex Eubank, you're gonna weigh more. That's completely okay. That's what we're bulking for. So how do we bulk? We got a couple things to think about. You got maintenance calories and surplus calories. You can figure out your maintenance really easily. Go onto your favorite AI. I use ChatGPT for this. Give it your weight and your activity level. It's going to spit out some kind of calorie. Now, whatever it says your maintenance calories are, if you want to bulk, add 500 calories on top of that. That's if you want to gain mass quick. If you're being really smart about it, you'll use something like MyFitnessPal. You'll measure your exact calories for every single meal. You'll go somewhere between 300 and 500 calories up, and it's going to be amazing. What you absolutely shouldn't do, and you would be a dumbass for this, is using one of those like calorie tracking AI apps where you take a photo of your food and it goes, yeah man, last 2,000 calories, 100 grams of protein. No, it's not. They're lying to you. AI is not that advanced yet. It might be soon, but also how is any AI meant to know how many calories is in your exact kind of bean? So you got kidney beans. How is it going to know how many calories in that? I don't know. I can't tell how many calories are in your beans, let alone fucking AI. But I know that a lot of people don't really want to use calorie trackers, even like MyFitnessPal, which is a good one because it just uses barcodes. The problem with calorie tracking is it takes ages, and it kind of takes the fun out of any food. In my opinion, food shouldn't be that fun. If you love food and you love eating every single meal you make yourself, you're probably not going to hit your goals, because good food is almost always bad food. It's not going to help you. The way to think about food is to go, yo, do I actually want to eat this? And if your brain says, no, I don't, it's probably good for you. Anyway, calorie tracking kind of sucks in my opinion. It takes all the fun out of eating food. It takes ages, so what's a better thing to do? You probably know how much food you eat on a daily basis because you probably don't fluctuate in weight that much. Okay, throughout the year, you'll probably go like plus or minus 3 kilos. That's completely fine. But you have a general idea how much you weigh. Adding 300 to 500 calories on top of that really isn't hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the milk method. I hopped on the milk method as soon as I started hitting the gym, and I literally blew up. Like, it was ridiculous. You can eat your exact same diet and have 2 pints of semi-skim milk on top of it. That is 600 extra calories and 40 grams of protein. And that also takes all of the difficulty of eating out of the equation. You can have the exact same diet unless you were eating fucking junk food before. If you had a terrible diet before and your hormones were all over the place because you're eating all this synthetic bullshit, you probably got to switch it up. But say you've got a reasonably healthy diet before, you're getting decent protein, you're getting decent fats, decent carbs, whatever. You can add 2 pints of milk on top of that. It takes nothing to drink 2 pints of milk. It's cheap as hell, it gets through you quickly, and you get 600 calories and 40 grams of protein. If I'm being completely real, when I first blew up, I was 16, and I was drinking 4 pints of green milk a day. In fact, sometimes 6 pints of milk, because, I wanted it bad. And milk has this other benefit of you don't have to like sit down and meal prep a glass of milk. It's like, okay, say you have lunch and you got a bunch of protein for lunch. You got dinner, bunch of protein at dinner. Say there's a 6-hour gap in this period. you don't really get any protein between then. Milk. Bro, it's unreal. Say you got lunch at 12, dinner at 6, 4 p.m, bang a glass of milk. 20 grams of protein. It's like a constant IV drip of protein. It's incredible. For context, if you're really new to the gym, the amount of protein you need is about a gram per pound of body weight you have. So for me, that's about 190 grams of protein a day. Dude, 2 pints of milk is 40 grams of protein. That is going on a quarter of my daily protein needs in 2 pints of milk. That's 2 big glasses. That's easy. Some of you guys are going to disagree with me. I've pulled up Tesco's milk. Let me show you the exact macros. What we got here? Ingredients. 100 ml. We got 3.6 grams. Oh, fuck. That sugar is deep. I hadn't considered that. There's a lot of sugar in that. Okay, there's a lot of sugar in milk, but there's a lot of sugar in everything. At least you're not eating sweets. It could be a lot worse. So if you're cutting, yeah, maybe milk isn't the move. That's bad. But protein wise, look at this. We got 3.6 grams of protein in 100 ml. 568 ml is a pint. So basically times it by 6. 3.6 times 6, that's like 21 grams. You're getting 20 grams of protein in a pint of milk and 300 calories. That is unbelievable, dude. Look at this as well. They got the milk reviews. Some people are going on Tesco and reviewing milk. I don't know what's up with that, but you know what? Handy size for a 95-year-old. If you're 95, you can bulk too. Maybe don't. That's probably a bad idea. Your cholesterol probably can't handle that. Okay, so a bit of a side note away from milk bulking, which I'm hands down the best method. If you want to get big quick and you don't want to take steroids, milk. It's easy. 4 pints of milk a day, 1.2k calories. That's half your calorie goals in dairy, dude. Mental. Anyway, so people on a bulk will be like, all right, dude, let's have some ice cream. Let's have some pot noodles. Let's have some pizzas. All that stuff is still going to mess up your body, and it's not going to deliver the one thing you need. When you're bulking, you need a bunch of carbs to sustain you, and you need a bunch of protein to fuel the drive in your muscles to actually get bigger. And you do need fats, but you need the right fats, and you don't need a crazy amount of them. Don't cut your fats ridiculously, then your hormones are going to tank, going to have no testosterone, you're going to have no more drive to go to the gym. But people deprioritize carbs and protein because, oh, I get to have loads of easy calories. Bulking should not be easy. You shouldn't sit there in front of a pizza and think, okay, I've got 2,000 calories of pizza, 20 grams of protein in this whole thing, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be so good for me, I'm going to get so jacked. No, you're not. It's going to mess up your hormones, going to mess up your bulk, you're going to look like shit, you're going to feel like shit. On the note of bulking shouldn't feel easy though, if you're bulking right, and you're really putting weight on, and you're putting the right kind of weight on, you're getting all the nutrients you need, you're going to feel full all the time. There was times when I was first bulking that I'd feel nauseous going to bed because I'd destroy some vegetables, I'd destroy a full meal, and I'd have then like 2 pints of milk just before bed. What a disaster. That was terrible, but it got me big. Other mistakes people make is they don't commit to the bulk. Set a target weight and keep going up until you get to that point. You are going to look chubby. You're going to get a little bit of face fat, you're going to get a little bit of lower back fat. I'm bulking right now and immediately I notice the lower back fat. It's not nice, but it's for a better future. When you eventually cut and carve off those extra layers, it is going to be unbelievable. Whole new human. You're going to reveal the physique you've always wanted, or at least a step closer to it. The trick here is training consistency and calorie consistency. Try an 8-week bulk, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that long. And at the end of that 8 weeks, make sure you've hit every single training session and your calories every day. By the end of that training segment, you will be bigger and you will be stronger. Provided you're training hard enough and you've got surplus calories, there is literally nothing in your body that could be stopping you from getting more jacked. Also, low-key, if you skipped a gym session, dude, why? If you've watched this video, you've been here for like 10 minutes, you've got time to hit the gym, you could have warmed up by now. Look at your screen time right now and genuinely tell me, AJ, I can't hit the gym, I don't have enough time. Dude, you spent 2 hours on TikTok already tonight. And if you haven't spent that long on TikTok, good on you. You're part of a rare breed. Go to the gym. You probably already have gone to the gym because if you're not scrolling on social media, really, what more have you got to do? Alright, video conclusion and consolidation. If you want to get bigger, drink milk. It's that easy. Eat what you were having before and have 2 pints of milk on top of that. Easy protein, easy calories. It literally is that simple. Remember the couple figures I gave you as well. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you're not going to track any macros, you're not going to track your fats, you're not going to track your carbs. If you're only going to track one macro, don't bother tracking your carbs, don't bother tracking your fats, track your protein. When you're trying to bodybuild and you're trying to get big, genuinely, that's the only one that really matters. The other stuff, they'll level out. Oh, also, a little bit of extra advice because, you know, why not? Your body can only process 60 grams of protein per 2 hours. Don't come back to me in 8 weeks after you've tried this bulk and go, AJ, I couldn't get big. And I'll go, okay, hang on, why couldn't you get big? That doesn't make any sense. You're eating 200 grams of protein a day. And they tell me, well, man, I had 200 grams of protein for breakfast and then I ate bullshit for the rest of the day. Okay, 200 grams of protein for breakfast. 140 of those grams isn't going in your body. It's just getting excreted by your kidneys. Off it goes, down the toilet, never coming back. You want to split your meals into 4 so you can guarantee 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of protein, 50, 200 total. And then also, think about it, you got these 4 meals. Then you got some fucking milk here between those meals, extra 20 grams of protein each time. If you have 50 grams of protein per meal in 4 meals, you have an extra 20 and separate occasions. That's what, 240 grams of protein a day. You are well over your protein needs for the day. Okay, you know what, even better. Say you can only have 3 big meals a day. That's 50, 50, 50, 150. Those extra 2 pints of milk, that's 190 grams, which for the majority of people is well and truly into your comfort zone for protein goals. There's me shouting about milk and the success it's given me for the gym. Drink your dairy, and I'll see you in the next one.